Stephen Kerr.
Presiding Officer, I seek your guidance on comments the Minister for Higher Education, Further Education, Youth Employment and Training, Jamies Hepburn MSP, made in this chamber, which do not appear to have any resemblance to accuracy. On the 27th of October in this chamber, Mr Hepburn said, "There is no freeze on apprenticeships this year. There are still many places available to be taken up in the contracts that have been awarded, and they should be fulfilled." Let us be clear, he said, there is no freeze on apprenticeship places this year. Well, training providers have been in contact with many of us in this chamber to make it clear that they have been told something very different by Skills Development Scotland. At the start of the financial year, training providers were told they could utilise the process for requesting additional starts as long as they met their key performance indicators, as has been the standard practice in many previous years. However, last month, despite meeting all their key performance indicators, training providers were told that as a result of John Swinney's announcements, Skills Development Scotland were unable to process any further requests for additional volume or value to provide modern apprenticeship qualifications. This removes the ability of the training providers to respond to the training needs of our businesses and provide opportunities for our young people. Presiding Officer, the practice has always been that training providers can apply for additional places halfway through the year to allow flexibility in the labour market. They had received assurances to the effect that this would continue. Now, I know that Mr Hepburn has received the same correspondence that I and many other members have received from training providers. So this normal practice has ended, and the number of places on apprenticeships is frozen. And yet Mr Hepburn said there was no freeze on apprenticeships. Well, there is. This feels more than a little misleading. And I wonder, Presiding Officer, what options exist for members to have Mr Hepburn come to the chamber to explain what he meant by, quote, "there is no freeze on apprenticeships this year," unquote, when there clearly is a freeze on apprenticeships. If he has inadvertently misled Parliament, he should put the record straight. What sanctions exist? And if there has been a change since the Minister spoke, just a few days ago in relative terms, would it not be normal practice for the Minister to come to Parliament and inform Parliament?
I thank Mr Kerr for his point of order. It is of paramount importance that members, including ministers, give accurate information to the Parliament, correcting any inadvertent errors at the earliest opportunity. If any member has a question about the factual accuracy of another member's contribution, they should raise it with that member. The Chamber is fully, I'm sure all members here are aware that the Parliament has a corrections procedure and how that mechanism operates. I haven't received a request to make a statement. If a member considers that a statement should be made, they should raise that directly with the relevant member. If a request to make a statement was received, I would notify the Parliamentary Bureau so that time could be scheduled, set aside. These points, the points that I am making have been, they reflect the procedures and the practices that have been agreed by this Parliament. But of course, if anyone considers that these should be revised, they can, of course, raise that matter with the Standards, Procedures and Public Appointments Committee. We will now move on to